Assetto Corsa Competizione is actually better in third-person camera. I know you want to kill me right now. I know you're literally reaching through your screen to just slap me, but in this video I'm going to explain why. And honestly, I think by the end of this video you are going to be seeing what I'm seeing. So here we have ACC in third person, and by the way, I've driven this car for a GT3 in real life. So I've done this car in real life, driven it in the cockpit camera for real, so I know what it sounds like, I know what it drives like, and I'm not doing it in ACC. I did a race before this where I did it in cockpit cam and I just wasn't quite feeling it, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to go into third person. I'm going to go into a mad storm here at Imola, and I made a few little tweaks, and there's some stuff that works, some stuff that I'm going to tell you in this video that doesn't really work, but the stuff that works, my word, look how involving this is. Now there's a few things. Firstly, obviously you can see the weather effects so much more. I've also tweaked the field of view. So what that means is I've made a few different tweaks to the field of view. You can see cars coming up to try and overtake, which is really interesting and cool. You get that kind of dramatic moment where, oh, I've hit that Lamborghini. Dramatic moment where a car will come up the inside, really hot on the brakes, and you really feel it. So when you see that in the video, you're going to really feel it. That's very cool. You're also going to see the movements of the car as I oversteer, and this is something that when I drove this car in real life, you can see a car there sort of poking up the inside. When I drove this car in real life, the sensation of oversteering is way more than you get in cockpit camera. You see there, I lose back in a little bit. And the reason for that is you feel oversteer in real life in a GT3 car through the seat of your pants. So you really feel, especially in like a 488 where, you know, it's such a well-balanced car, the car's sort of pivoting around you. You really feel when you're getting that oversteer, when you're getting that nice slip angle, which is the thing that we all want to go faster around corners. You don't really get that in ACC, in cockpit camera, and this has been my issue with ACC for years. I remember when I started ACC, my word, I don't know how many, is it 4 years ago now or something like that? I can't even remember. But I remember being really frustrated with the lack of understanding. What an overtake that was, by the way. Lack of understanding about where the car was in the oversteery phase, because I wasn't getting it through the wheel, because you wouldn't really expect to get too much of it through the wheel, not for oversteer. For understeer you would, as the wheel gets heavier as you're trying to turn, but not for oversteer. And I couldn't really get it through the horizon as well, and that's because you're playing, whoa, YOLO'd it. Oh, what a save. Oh no. Oh, save. Rate my driving out of 10, by the way, in the comments. We do 2 or 3 YOLOs there. But you don't get it in the cockpit either, because if you're playing in 2D, playing in 2D through a cockpit camera is so unrealistic. My word, I'm going to make some enemies in this video. Playing cockpit camera in 2D is so unrealistic because your brain has to compute a very vertically narrow kind of distance into what's meant to be a 3D space and try and perceive depth through a 2D window. It's really, really, really old-fashioned. VR is different. Don't want to go into VR here because you see me racing a lot in VR and there's pros and cons there. If you're racing in 2D like the vast majority of you watching, honestly, cockpit camera is not super realistic. Now, given that cockpit camera is not realistic in 2D, what is the point in limiting yourself to cockpit camera? Surely you may as well go for the more fun experience, and you can see here, this is a more visually pleasing experience. It's see the way that, oh, we lose it there. Can we YOLO it again? My word. How many 360s are we doing here? Sign me up to the X Games, please. How's my rejoin? Pretty good. But you'll see the moment as we sort of tease out the back end. You can really feel it here. There we go, a little bit. It's exaggerated there, and again, it's exaggerated in the wet. It'll be very hard to feel that in cockpit camera. And definitely not as easy to perceive it in cockpit camera in a game in 2D like ACC than you do in real life. Now, with the advantage of being in third person, I mean, you can see the weather's all around the car, the spray as we go in and out. It just seems to be of a higher quality than when you're in the cockpit. The game is not having to render loads of stuff in the cockpit, so it can actually use that, and it's rendering more stuff outside the car, which is more visually pleasing. You can see I've really minimized the UI elements here to try and make them as small as possible. And it's a very cinematic experience. You know, you can imagine doing this on an ultra wide screen, by the way, and just how cinematic that would be. And I'm having so much fun doing this race. I'm having more fun doing this race than the race I did in cockpit and the race before. And I feel more engaged as well. Whoa, you can see there, starting to aquaplane or lose the grip or whatever it was. And, you know, the back end coming around, I was able to feel that and perceive it immediately because I can see the rotation of my car relative to the environment much easier in this view. And I think it's also a more pleasing experience for you to watch. Unless you've already clicked off the video by now because you were like, oh, cockpit view is the only view and anything other than cockpit view should be burned at the stake. Those people have gone, presumably. So if you're watching, you're still a little bit curious. Maybe you're shielding your screen from the people around you because you don't want to be seen watching sim racing in third person. But I honestly might become a third person convert. And see down, we're chasing these cars here. By the way, the graphics, this is all on ultra settings. Everything is maxed out. Like literally everything is to the max. You cannot play ACC at better quality than what you're watching right now, which is pretty cool. I'm trying to do a straighter line here because we saw when I'm trying to turn in and tease the car. Are we going to get any aquaplaning here? Let's see. Oh, and a little bit there. Bring it back into line. It's a much more rewarding experience for me. Now, is it less of a simulation being in third person? Look, you can't actually drive your car from this position in real life. Unless you put an Insta360 camera on a stick and then had VR goggles in the car, but that's a video for another day. That's a video that I want to make, by the way. Please like and subscribe. Feel free to donate under this video if you want to see me strap an Insta360 camera to a car and drive it using VR goggles. That would be insane. But yeah, it's not realistic in that sense, but as I said, it's not super realistic being in the cockpit. So you kind of need to pick your poison a little bit, and I'd rather pick the poison that looks better. The poison cocktail that's all blue and sparkly and foaming. That's what I've done here. You can see as we overtake the Aston Martin just how awesome that is. You can also see the reflection. I don't think this is ray trace, I don't think. But you can see the reflections of my rear rain light on the tarmac behind is really, really, really cool. Have a look. Oh! Saved it. You know what? I need to apply to the... Oh! Ah. Okay, that one hasn't... That one didn't go so well. You can see that's not really a simulation. You wouldn't be able to carry on like that in real life. And having crashed one of these cars in real life, I do know about that a little bit. But I'm just really enjoying it. You can see the rain seems to be a little bit heavier here. Look at the fry going inside. Getting overtaken is actually a lot more of a pleasing experience in third person because you can see the cars coming and you could be like, oh, okay, they're coming a bit early. Maybe I should let off the brake a little bit because obviously there's going to be more grip. I mean, look at the spray ahead. You can barely see that there's two cars there as we felt another car go sniffing around the apex. We're down to P25 at the moment. Where are we going to finish this race? It might be the last lap, actually. This could be the last lap, I'm not sure. Oh, see the Lexus have a moment there. And, you know, why should I only get to view other cars in third person if I can't drive my own car in third person? I'm representing the third person camera crew here. And I honestly think this is as fast driving ACC. You can see I haven't even got any HUD up here. I really don't feel like I need the HUD. I mean, what am I losing from the HUD and everything? I'm not sure. But I feel like this might become my go-to camera in ACC. You can't do this in iRacing. Gran Turismo, I feel like the bonnet cam is really not... And Gran Turismo is a bit more of a precise game, I feel. ACC is a bit more of a visceral game. It's a bit more of an emotional game. It's okay, oh, we're going to go up the inside here. Slide it. Let's see. Is he going to back out in the 444? No, he doesn't. He's still there. There we get the move done. Those sort of moves are a lot more satisfying in third person. I think we're going to be heading on to the very last lap now. So we're up to P23. Can we possibly get into the top 20 with David Perel? Now, he drives these cars for his job. And also, David Perel gave me some coaching in sim racing many years ago. So all of these top skills you can see here, these crazy lines, you can let David Perel know that these are the lines that he coached me well. But is this going to be a Star Wars situation where we're now going to overtake the old master, or are we going to bin it? We will see. Don't know if the track's getting wetter, by the way. Maybe that would be a good thing for the HUD. But I'm just honestly having so much fun turning it on, doing a 10-minute race or whatever it is. Oh! Got to go a little bit wide here on the gravel. Come back on. Anyone going to try and go around the outside? No, they're not. And run the hairpin. Track limits, no time gained. Not sure about that. Gran Turismo. Oh, there we go. There's a Ferrari 488. Or are we going to spin and go all the way to the back? We will see, because we're on the last lap. It's just more fun. Life's too short to only sit in a cockpit. Why not sit on the outside of your car? Because you can. Because it is a video game. And it allows you to do these crazy things. If you want to drive this car in a cockpit camera, then you can drive it in one. No, you can't. It's very expensive in real life. That is a good point. If you... Oh, no. Doing triple donuts there. Well, we're not going to catch David Perel. In fact, right now we're in last place. Is there any way that we can finish this race not in last place? Got 555 ahead of us. Mr. Proto. The leaders have finished. But I would say don't... Oh, okay. Don't go into cockpit view expecting it to be super realistic. Just because it sounds realistic and it kind of looks realistic. I'm not sure it feels super realistic. That's my takeaway. And if this is just a lot of fun. Don't knock third-person camera view until you tried it. If you tried it and you don't like it, then let me know in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed as well, by the way. This video might get a lot of heat from the cockpit crew. Possibly. Oh, another position for free. Very nice. So we're going to finish this race in P27. So cockpit view confirmed very fast. Finishing in, P27. Let me know what you think, and I will see you all. I'll see you next time.